Americans just want to kill everybody. We have the power to do it. Everybody know we do. But tomorrow when you've killed them, you naturally turn people off from you. People will not want to deal with you in a naturally, they don't want to because you overreact. That's the problem. You overreacting. Overreacting is not good. Be patient. And you will see that they always say that the patient dog eat the fattest bone. Yeah. The one who is patient win at the end because people will look at Vladimir Putin and say, they focused on the goal. The goal is to take the Donbass. The goal is to bring down the Ukrainian government. We don't want the entire country. Just bring the government down, bring the Nazi, kill the Nazi, get them out of the country, take the Donbass. Stay on the goal. And that goal may take time. But you also want to understand one thing, is that Russia became number 4th major economy after number 12 because of the money they are making off of this conflict. If you tell them to stop the conflict now, all those people who are working into building weapons and all of that industry that keep running and running and running, that's money that you are removing from a lot of people. So they have to transition in a way that it does not hurt the economy too badly. So that's also what people have to understand. Don't just look at the fact that you want to see Vladimir Putin throw a major destruction of Ukraine. No, it's not going to fix anything. The United States does that all the time. They go into a country, they bomb, and then who comes and rebuild? China. China rebuilt Iraq. Is rebuilding Iraq. It's the United States that bombed. Look at Syria. The leader of Syria has already traveled 2 times in Russia. What is he going to do in Russia? Why is he there? Because Russia is more stable. Russia is not a happy trigger country. They are more stable, right? And so that's what I want people to understand. I keep telling them all the time. I know, even for me, I think it's slow. I think it's frustrating more to see this thing end because I want to travel to Russia. I love Russia. I've already traveled to Russia. I don't want to keep going up there using cash. I want the sanction to end. I want to see business come back again, right? But you have to understand that this is for the long run. This is not the United States that goes around, bomb and destroy country and leave. Russia wants a stable area. They want a stable Ukraine. They want a stable Belarus. They want a stable Georgia. And therefore, it makes Russia, quiet and strong. And it makes a country for us to travel. Once people are going to start traveling after the conflict, you'll feel more secure in Russia than any other countries because nobody is going to want to play with Russia. Nobody. Right? Yeah. So, I understand it's frustrating, but...
I'm conscious of the time. So one more question and then we'll wrap up. Sure. So knowing Great Britain is one of those countries that are colonized and sort of fixed and built and ran a lot of countries all around the world. Mm-hmm. How did they find themselves in the corner, in the shadow, now that they are taking orders from United States, mm-hmm. from France, and most of this country? How did they come? How did they get this bad to the point where they just cornered to the? You know what I mean?
Yes, but I am so happy that you're asking this question because it really gives the opportunity for us to explain exactly what is also happening to the United States. People want to know what happened to Britain is exactly what the US is doing today that what happened to Britain. Exactly. You get a country that becomes too big, the empire, it's invade everyone, constantly bombing people. Look, it's just recently they gave back Hong Kong to China, right? Lord know what they did in Africa, India. That used to look at India today. Whether it's Nigeria. All those countries that they used to dominate is because they stretched themselves too much. And then there's always one force that is going to waken you or bring you back to earth. I think one of their major fight, right, against the United States independence, when they went to war with the U.S. and the U.S. chased them out of the Americas. That was the major fall of the United Kingdom right there, right? They did not believe, they thought they could, also control, because the United States, they're also British, right? A lot of them left the United Kingdom to move to the United States and build another British colony over there. But then when they decided they wanted to go by themselves, they had a civil war between the US and the United Kingdom. And this is the only war that the US ever won. That's the only thing. The US has never won any other wars after this one. That was their own independence war. They always celebrate on July 4th, right? So they chased the British out, and that is little by little when the British started losing. After that, if you follow history after that, you will find out that almost every other conflict they had, they were losing. And so what the problem is that you stretch so big, you want to be all over. They are in Asia. They wanted to be in Africa. They wanted to control the Americas. So all of that at one point in time, you no longer have the people to control them. The US is one example where they sent people to be in America to colonize America, and they lost control over the United Kingdom in America. And what America did is that they decided, we don't want to be part of the United Kingdom anymore. And then they aligned with the French, they aligned with any other source, Africans, to fight the United Kingdom. So you see, and so with that, they found out that we stretched too much. We went we wanted to have too much, and they started losing with time. So every empire does the same thing. They go up, right? And then you get to the top of the tree, and the branches are too fragile, and they start breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking because you're stretched too much. And that's what happened to them. And so you look at not only that, the population, right? Most of the population in Europe is in decline, right? The demography is in decline. They no longer have people. So now the immigration comes. They are obligated to work with immigrants. So look at what happened, for example, in Spain. You know that Spain just legalized, 200,000 people? Give them papers? Imagine yourself in Spain, and Europe is all upset with them. Don't do that. And Spain is saying that, we don't have people. Who's going to work? We need immigrants. The only people who are growing today are Indian and Africans. It's only India and Africa. 80% of Africans are between the age of 25 and I believe 18. 80% of the population of the African population. You have the Indians who are taking over. Even the Chinese are in decline. And so when you start losing people, the demographic, and when they started acquiring more immigrants, is when the force that the immigrants is bringing, because they're not only joining your country, at the same time they're joining your government, they're participating in the economy. It makes the UK realize that we cannot go ahead and continue to control the countries of those immigrants that we have accepted in our own countries. Because now, imagine yourself, people in UK, you have an Indian who became prime minister the last time, right? Origin from India, right? When they come in there, they are also, even though he's probably born in the United Kingdom, he's been raised up there the whole time, he has roots in India. He doesn't want the UK to go and control India. And that is how you started to see your UK shrink. And you have another power, the United States, growing and taking over the world. And when World War II came, that was the end of the UK. Yeah. UK, not only you have France was already a hostage of the German. They were done. The UK was the only one left, but they were weakened, extremely weakened.